Hi, October 23rd. Here's my views. I just watched the second presidential debate of Joe and the president, and I noticed that a lot of the presidents, not the presidents, I noticed that most of the leftists they use a lot of condescending. Everything is about condescension, and is another word for it. It's like a word where like they detest the other person, so there's that de- detesting kind of energy and negative energy. And most of what Joe said, I noticed, was that he's like very not practical, and everything is about fear mongering. They operate on fear and emotions, the left. So I love that President Trump said that Joe is just really sleeping always, and he just got out of the basement to do the debate. I thought that was hilarious. And another thing I wanted to say, according to my opinion, was that the left is always like focusing on Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia's interfering with our elections. Russia's a threat to the free world. In my view of today, Russia is not a threat to the free world. Um, they're not a threat to the free world. I think they're kind of getting up to date with everybody. The real threat to the free world is China, I believe. China is the most powerful entity right now, the most powerful other country in the world, and they are communist. They censor TV, movies, they censor anyone says the wrong thing against the government, they land up in gulags. You have 2 million Muslims locked up in concentration camps in China. They're anti-religious, they're atheists. So China is the real powerful, which President Trump is right. They're getting richer and richer and more powerful, and soon they're going to own America. You know, so China is the biggest threat now to the world, to the free world. And as I was watching, I noticed that the moderator, she was really okay. Like she really was fair, pleasant. She wasn't like the other guy who was a complete moron and wasn't a moderator. He was a debater for Joe. And I wanted to say that Trump looks absolutely exhausted. Like he looks like he's been through a lot, and he looks tired. He looks like he has no energy. I I I'm worried for him. And I heard Joe is like 82. I'm actually pretty shocked that he's still standing at this point, Joe. You know, I I'm really shocked that he's still standing as a candidate. And um, I noticed that like the left is their tactic is to plan your emotions, and they will like point you on the television and say, you are sitting with your family, the one next to you can die next to you, and what are you going to do if they're in the hospital and you can't visit them? And they're going to fearmonger. They're going to pull on your heartstrings to get your vote. And it's like a tactic. You can see it's like a machine, like they switch it on like this, the way they talk to the public. It's like a political move. There's no it's like a switch. And Trump, he pointed it out. He's like, okay, come on, you're just being like a regular politician that's trying to, you know, pull your heartstrings to get your vote. And like Joe Biden kept saying, oh, you're gonna die from COVID or whatever. Another 200,000 people are gonna die in the next few months because of this guy, because of Trump. And I think that actually I took notes because I can't remember. I watched the whole debate, and it was just interesting. I like to be a commentator. So I noticed that a lot of people that I speak to that are trying to run businesses, they all want to vote for Trump because they say that Trump is a businessman and he knows how to run businesses and he's very smart. And so anyone who is an entrepreneur or like they want to make a business or whatever, they all flow with Trump, and all the losers flow with Biden. Like, Biden appeals to all the losers that couldn't make it in life, so they just want to take from everybody else. They don't want to work. And so they, I noticed that Joe Biden kept appealing to people, like, tried to make them afraid, like threaten them about, oh, you're going to lose your insurance with, Obamacare, and, and then he got really angry, like falsely righteous indignation, false righteous angry indignation about the kids separated in the cages, like the so-called cages that him and everybody knows Obama created those cages. So he got all self-righteous about the kids, the 450 kids that are separated from their parents still, and they don't know where their parents are, and they can't get them reunited with them. And so he got all self-righteous about that. I don't think he really cares about those kids, because Trump is right. Most of those kids didn't come with their parents. They came with, like, cartels, or, like, people don't realize what's out there. You just go on the documentaries, and you can see what goes on by the borders. And so I thought that was funny, how he got all self-righteous indignation angry when you could clearly see he doesn't care, really doesn't care. So he tries to, like, Joe tries to seem empathetic, and another thing I noticed about him is that, like, he got all empathetic to these children, while all he wants to do when he gets a hold of them is pinch their nipple. That's what Joe Biden likes to do. He likes to pinch little girls' and boys' nipples, That's how passionate he is to get them together with their parents, because he has like a thing with children and anyone, just like anything that literally crawls, he wants to get his hand on. So I noticed that Trump is also right about Joe Biden being in politics for 47 years and having done nothing. What did he do? He says that Trump asked the question, you're 47 years in politics and you've done nothing. Why should anyone believe that you're gonna change in the next few years? Why should they believe that you're gonna do anything different when you've done nothing for 47 years? And I think Trump has a point. Like, anyone with common sense will understand that he's right. All he's done is the crime bill that sent all these people for minor, like, small drug offenses, nonviolent drug addicts that were caught with drugs. They were sent to the prisons, which were mostly, it basically targeted black people. So he ended up locking up all these black people, right? And and that's all he's done, and people are still voting for Joe Biden, and they think he's going to change something in the next 4 years, when in the past, right before Trump, he was in power, he didn't do nothing with Obama. So, and I noticed that Joe started towards the end, his cognitive ability started to decline. He called the Proud Boys poor boys, and then he said Abraham Lincoln is bad. I guess he was referring to Trump, that Trump is bad, but he said Abraham Lincoln is bad. You could see it yourself. It was really funny, It was like, kind of, okay, he's like totally losing it, So the lady asked Biden about the crime bill, because, and asked him, what is he going to say to the families that were affected by the crime bill because of him locked up for many years? What's he going to say to them if, say, he gets elected? What's he going to say to them, like, to the families of the people who are incarcerated? What's he going to say to try to get their vote? So, for having just, like, a small amount, they got arrested and thrown in jail for many years for having, like, a small amount of drugs on them. And why should they vote for him, she was asking. So he says that, Joe Biden says that, it was a mistake, and now he thinks that instead of instead of locking them up in jail, he thinks that people that do drugs, they should be sent to no jail at all. They should just be sent to rehabilitation, right? Rehabilitation facilities instead of prison. So in my analogy, I think that that's like an abuser, someone that abused someone, like an abuser going to his victim and saying, oh, come back to me, come support me because I made a mistake. And they should trust, it's like the victim saying, oh, you should trust me, not the victim, it's like the abuser telling the victim, oh, you should trust me now because I castrated myself and I made a mistake before and now I'm different, you know, because I'm self-castrating. So that's kind of like, I feel like what Joe is saying is kind of like telling a victim of abuse that, oh, you should, they hurt the victim and now they're going to tell the victim to trust them because they changed and they made a mistake in the past and they're going to change. They're going to change, and instead of molesting them or, you know, abusing them, they're going to, you know, suddenly change, you know. But that's not how it works, you know. That's not how life works. You can't just say, oh, I made a mistake, you know. You did things that really hurt so many families, and now you're gonna say, oh yeah, come vote for me, come trust me because I'm good, I made a mistake and now I'm gonna do radical change. No, it's not how it works, Joe. So they asked Joe and Trump, they said, what's gonna be, once you get inaugurated, what's gonna be in your speech? So Joe says he will choose hope over fear, but it's so hypocritical because 3/4 of his debate was about fear-mongering, just saying, oh, Corona's gonna kill you, another 200,000 families are gonna die. You know, he just like the whole time, he's just like fear-mongering, oh, just threatening people and trying to pull on their emotions. And, you know, it was just like, come on, you know, how can you say that you're gonna choose hope over fear when the whole debate you're just telling everybody to be scared of, while Trump is telling everybody, oh, you know, we're gonna get over this, we have a vaccine coming, we have, you know, it's gonna go away, and he's saying, no, it's not, we're gonna all die, and the one sitting next to you is gonna die, and then he says, oh, we're gonna choose hope over fear. Like, how stupid does he think people are? Maybe people are really that stupid. And it's funny, at the end of the debate, the two ladies came on the stage, the two wives, and they were both wearing masks. And I thought that was really weird to wear masks on the stage. They didn't take it off, and it was just like it looked like a political kind of move, like both the ladies are wearing masks, you know? Like, what are they trying to prove? And I actually think I saw Donald Trump as they were finishing, I noticed that, first of all, he did mention to the moderator that she's really pleasant, and he looked really happy with the moderator's performance, you know, so that was interesting to see. And so that's my views on Joe Biden and Trump's debate. And have a good day.